Alright. Learning more about streaming here. So, hopefully got that working right. The jet all configured. Let's go hook down. It's all set. Looking for 800 feet and 350 knots. A little closer to the boat here. There we go. A little 1 mile off the tack in. Oh, didn't get this set up. There we go. Break this out. Pull. Gear and full flap, same time. Speed brake still in. One out. Pitch trimming up. Still using that pitch trim. There's about 180. Probably a little close to the boat. Trim up a bit more. Let's see if time to kill that. Yep, right here. 620. There we go. 0.2 miles, 620. There's the beam. There. Should not be messing with that stuff, but I looked up and didn't have it configured beforehand, so oh well. Turn a little less than 30 degrees. There's the trigger right now. 40 at altitude. I'm looking for the ball. Where's the ball? Looking for the ball. There's 370 on my red out. Crossing the lake now. There's the ball. I see it now. There we go. Looks pretty good. I want it to be a little high. Let's find that out a bit. Put a low. Settle back in. Oh, that's gotta be a bolter. Alright, that was 180 speed score up to that point, so everything was good except riding that meatball down. Reset over the back of the boat. 4 miles. And see how this goes. Let's get this all corn figured here. Turn that to my checklist. Okay. A little better. Okay, feel good. A hard time seeing that ball trend. There we go. Top of that trailing ship. I can also look to the left here. See I'm on the right course line. Right now I'll go over the top of it. 354 is BRC. There we go. 900 feet. Let's increase the speed, decrease the altitude. There's my 800 feet. Let's come off the throttle. I'd like to be turning at the end of this brake at 350. There's my 15-degree indicator going over the deck there. Ooh, pay attention to your speed. 391, because I forced it there, haha. 6.7, 8, 9, speed brake out, throttle down, gentle roll, and pull to about a max of 2.9 there. I am not finding the 1% G turn to actually work for me. Puts me way too close to the boat. There we go, flaps full, gear down, speed brake still in it. I've let off pitch, as you can see. We're going to trim to keep pulling. Speed brake still out. There's 174, and I'm on speed, and I've got 120 feet to go. 70, 60, 50, 2, 1, there's 600 feet. And I'm too close to the boat. Whoops. And even with that gentler turn, I wasn't able to get it. So there's the end of the boat. Roll in. Yeah, slightly too close. I knew it. There's some points off of there. I think 177 is what I'll be hopefully at. I'm looking to just do this groove correctly. I want to get to the 90, to my marker there. There it is, 450, 448. And I'm going to spot the ball, turning in here. Okay, I see it, but I can't tell where it is. There's the weight. There's my radar out at 470. Okay, looks like a good ball. Wind up a little right. I want that correct. I'm a little low on the ball, so come up a little bit and then follow that new glide slope down. Like coming out of VR zoom. A little high in the meat ball. Catch it. Oh. That is a 4-wire. Oops. Hook up. Wraps up. Wings. And get out of the box. A 182 4-wire. Everything was marked on speed. At altitude everywhere slightly close, so just the 4-wire and the slightly too close were the point deductions there, but I didn't feel good about that approach at all. Lineup was a little wrong. What is the deedle for? Wing unlink. Yes, I know. I unlinked them. Alright. Launch arc down. Back and I hit the U key, and now I know I'm on the trap. Let's unfold the wingy dingies. And what else do I like to do at this point? Oh, notice something in the FPass page to get the home fuel deedles to go away. Go to some other waypoint that's not used, so 59 will work. Because I got plenty of fuel, 31,100 pounds. I'll go back to this so I can set my stab trim. Oh, no. Flaps have to be down first. Okay, our wings have to be down, flaps are half. There we go. Now I can trim to 16. Everything's set. Alright, head back, throttles to middle. For the shot. There it is. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Snap. There we go. Okay. Positive rate of climb. Flaps up, gear up. Do our 20-degree clearing turn here. Normally I'd turn 20 back and head out BRC until like, what, 7 miles, but I don't want to practice that. I want to practice the dang case one. So, just going to be a bad boy over here and turn over the right side of the ship. I think this is where all the helicopters are, but oh well. Scaffolding. So I know I'm low. Thank you, Leslie. Alright. trying to use what I learned from dissecting the, or not dissecting so much as deriving and looking at the math involved, and the geometry involved in carrier landing. I know this boat here is dimensioned too small, but what I don't know is if they did anything funny with their meatball. If they haven't done anything funny with their meatball, and the meatball is correct to itself, then it's actually going to be incorrect in that it'll put you on a 2-wire. Put you on a 2-wire barely by a few feet, but a 2-wire nevertheless. So, I've always thought that looked a little low. A meatball approach looks a little low, but actually the way this game depicts the meatball too, the center meatball isn't really possible in the game. They show you the light above or the light below, so not exactly possible. Ooh, what am I doing speed-wise? Oh my goodness, speed and altitude, fix it. Here yapping. Offset's good. 54 degrees. And I'm above 350. Let's try to get that stabilized. 806 at 800. 7, 8, 9. Just break out, roll, and pitch. Hold about 2.5. Speed brake still out. 2.9. Maintained altitude, there's 795. There's flap and gear time. Speed brake still coming up. I'm going to roll the level. No longer using pitch. I'm going to pitch with trim. And we still roll around here as I still bleed off speed. Should float a little bit here. Oops, I didn't bleed off enough speed. And there we go. Now I'm on speed AOA. Offset from the boat here. I haven't been having much luck with that. There's 600 feet. Oops, I passed a little bit. Let's see if we can hit that trigger for a good 1.2. Oops, didn't. I'm already past the boat. It's probably too close. Yeah, oh, it says perfect distance. I don't know if I believe that, but whatever. Okay. Something slightly less than 30. I've been finding that if I go out more, when I approach and cross the wake, I'm liking to keep the ship right at the canopy bow there. It seems to be like a good constant thing that I'm hitting. There's the 90, so start turning your head towards the boat. There's 480, I think I hit that at. So, watching the stream, it's picking up my left eye. So I should be crossing now. There's my 370 wake trigger now, and I'm kind of dorked up here, but I see the ball. That might be a little low. Oh, okay, a little smidge high. Fall and then catch it. It's still high. Oh, it's descending, so not good. And well, that is a 3-wire that time, but the angle was just garbage. I don't like that at all. The flap's coming up. Wing dinghies. That must still be attached. Okay. I'm still attached. I'm still attached. Super annoying. Okay. I know the wings are linked. I unlinked them. I didn't see a score there, but something in the neighborhood of 180 something. I'm gonna take it. I don't like that groove at all. I wish there was a way to just reset just doing the groove. Like set me up on a 1 mile groove and just let me replay that over and over. Okay. Dropping down. There we go, I'm hooked up now. Let's unfold the wings. Fuel's still good, I think. 30,000. And we'll go half laps. White controls, white control, there's rudder. There's rudder. Okay. Oh yeah, 181 4-wire. Still don't like it. Because group performance was garbage. I can head back. There we go. This would be thrilling if it were real life. And there we go. Positive rate. All geared up. 20-degree clearing turn. Looks good. Back would look good, but I'm going to cheat and go this way and just reset, right? Ain't nobody got time for that. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever descended the Marshall stack appropriately. Never done the 5-mile circle and everything. It's only done this truncated section of case 1 brake, so oops. Probably practice more, right? Oh, sitting here in a $10 car seat out of a Oldsmobile Alero, I think, that I found on Craigslist. The guy must have had a shop or something doing upholstery work, because it's covered in cat skin leather. Cat spelled with a K, so. Got myself a little seat, using a Thrustmaster Warthog. OTAS, got HTC Vive VR here. And what else do I got? I do have 2 Cougar MFTs. There's the buttons for them. Don't have to have a screen because I don't need them. I can reach out and feel. Bottom, and they're situated for the A10. Myself basically a little table I made to hold up the keyboard in the middle, so the keyboard is floating in the middle of the cockpit there. And yeah, so reach forward right, and somewhere in there is keyboard. So reach all by feel. Really much too high. Yapping too much there. 400. 1, 2. Nice. 797. 2 feet off. Alright. 7, 8, 9, 10. Throttle down. Brakes out. Turn. Pull. That lost vector on the horizon. Do a little gentler pull this time. There it is. Gear down, flaps down, and we'll keep going here. Float a little bit there. That's okay. And we'll roll out. I'm gonna let it dive as it rolls out here. Speed brake in and pump and trim up now. Maybe that'll be a little bit better offset. Somebody told me a trick that scale on 10 and the left side of your little wing form there would be in line roughly with yeah, you get a course marker there. 610, 600. Then I can start looking. I guess about now. Oh, I mean, what do you know? Perfect distance to the boat. Roll in. For what? 100 on the negative descent rate, and 200, and as it progressively gets more. I haven't quite understood that, but what else? I'm learning. 20. 503 out of 500, but I think that's 450 to 500 is what that should be. Now I'm going to start looking for the meatball. I can see it, but because I'm in VR, I can't actually see its what it's giving me. And if I zoom, so I feel like I'm a little high. Up across the wake. There's the wake score. I can see it in my peripheral. Across the wake at the right spot. Okay, I'm high. I'm listening to Mr. Lex there.
You're high?
Yep, okay, thank you.
You're high.
I know. Correct. There's a meatball. And there's a centered meatball. Well, I'm fighting it this time. I'm falling down into this one. Totally screwed my descent rate. Way too fast. 0.1 force that one on. Basically, I just didn't want to bolt her. That was garbage. Yeah, I'm just going to keep the flaps at half. 194 3-wire, but we all know that that was a garbage score. That was probably the worst one. I'm being lazy on that. It's a simulator, right? I can get away with violating descent rate. I was just all over on that one. I was high, but I didn't realize how high I was. I expected to come back to the line, to the glide slope, with the correction that I made, but didn't. So I got behind it and never got caught up. Oh well. It's just a game, and that's how we practice. Am I lined up? Alright, they're coming up there. You know what? I'm going to take this time to get some fuel. Oh, crew. Army fuel. Oh, why not change my numbers here? Huh? How about that?
Request refueling.
Ooh, pretty.
Request rearming. Copy.
Why that number? Don't know. Because I like green stuff? Ooh. Only figure out that hook to eyeball distance. Really helping some of my geometry calculations here. Well, but if we look at the boat while that's working, so there. Ugh. There we go. There's the eyeless there. So you see the groups of cells there. There's 2 cells per box. 6 boxes, total 12 lights. The bottom 2 are your reds. The rest of them are ambers. You can see the way the game depicts it. Let's see if I can zoom out here. Yeah. So the way the game depicts it, it's truly to eye position, the player's eye position. So that's kind of cool. But I can only light up 1 ball at a time. So I'm over the center of the runway here. That's high. There we go. There's top of amber. There's tricky because the boat's moving too. But that's what that should look like. That's not very tall at all. You can kind of see a relative height here. You can even see how much pitching deck makes things change. Just doesn't take much to change which lens you're on there. So that's generally the sight picture we're looking for. Don't spot the deck.
Rearming complete.
But we do know from the calculations that I did that if I look at the side of this, the optical touchdown point is 17 feet in front of that. And something like, oh, I forget, what was it, 200? Something feet in front of that. I think right after the jet blast deflectors. 10 feet under deck is the optical focal point, so don't spot the deck. Don't spot the deck. Alright. Cool. I just heard the call, so I'll jump back in the jet. Everything's good. Let's reset our trim to 16. Alright, wait. Head back. Alright, there we go. Alright. Positive rate. Let's try to get a pretty one. Just where I enter the groove and I have to make no corrections. I won't have Lex talking to me, telling me I'm too high. Although I learned I'd rather be too high than too low. If you go watch the video on the carrier geometry, you'll see that even if you see a valid amber meatball, the lowest amber meatball still violates the 10-foot hook to ramp clearance. So you need to fly just under the optimal glide slope if you want to meet that. So it happens that if if you do meet the 10-foot clearance, you will miss the one wire. So technically, if you ever hit a one wire, you either did one of two things. You violated the hook to ramp clearance and rode that in, or you cleared that but then settled into the one wire. Which, without breaking rules, you'll never hit or guidelines, let's put it that way. I mean, it's a game, play it however you want, but without doing that, you'll never hit a one wire. Now, all that being said is, carriage geometry is completely wrong, so everything's too short. The distances between the wires should be about 40 feet. It's about 37, so you're screwing us out of 10 feet from the floor to the one wire. So actually, the way I calculate it in game is if you hit a perfect meatball, assuming that the meatball optics work the same as they should, you'll actually land a few feet before the two wire. So I imagine if you hit a low amber, you'll probably hit a one wire, but we also know we're violating a 10-foot clearance, deck clearance, but hey, all carriers shrunk by like 5%, so there'd be no way to hold a couple of those things true and still claim we're doing it authentically, right? That's the carrier's dimensions wrong. Kind of makes me wonder where they got the carrier dimension now, or the model, if it was an external model that they purchased or something, or developed in-house. I don't know. A whole bunch of triangles on it, I know that. $10, $54, increase in 7, 8, 9, 10, throttle, speed brake, turn, pull. Pull call reminds me of calling pylon racing. RC pylon racing. Q500s, what me and my dad used to do. And, or 3 pylon races, and then 4 pylon races were, not 4 pylon, but 2 pylon races were 4-star 40s. Just fly the length of it. But the caller's job would be to tell the pilot when to turn. There'd be a shutter system, literally shutters from like a house. Color, painted a color. The reverse side of the shutter would be black, so see your color. And when you see that shutter get flipped by somebody who's sitting in a cage at pylon 1, they would, that's your indicator to turn. And that's apparently my indicator to turn. Seemed a little short there, but it triggered, so I'm going to believe the trigger. Ooh, I didn't put the hook down. I'm turning too tight now for some reason. Okay, let's settle that out. Descent right here. It's 504. I'll start looking for the ball. Last time I was high. I didn't feel like I was really high, but I trust it, right? I know that especially because Bankler put his tolerance band for scoring wider than the actual amber bands. So, hey, why not? Okay, there's the meatball. I can see it looks centered to me. So I've got to fly ahead of it a bit. Meet that. Okay. Take it out of VR zoom. Get used to that. Ooh, fell below it, but we'll see. So that may be a 2-wire. Yeah, 2-wire, 192 wire. So I settled at the end there. You saw that meatball. Ball near the end there. A little weird. I don't know. Felt like I was at a stable ball position, except right over the ramp, it really started to fall away. You know, I wasn't necessarily conscious what I was doing with the throttle there. So maybe I sensed an upward trend, or somehow sensed that I was maybe gonna go over the top of the wires. I don't know why I did that, but I did. That launch bar out, which typically means I can't turn. pause here. There I am, caught up by the wire. And laps to half. Turn to 16. Oh, there we go. Everything wiggles like it's supposed to. Everything wiggles like it's supposed to. Alright. There we go. No power. Go back. Enjoy the simulated ride. Yeah, a lot more fun if I got to do this for real. My dad got shot off a carrier once. The recovery as well. He's an engineer at Boeing. And at the time he was in reliability and maintainability as an engineer. And so they sent him to a ship with a small team to figure out, or actually get more aware of what the customer had to do maintenance-wise on the ship. So, you know, at other places you'd have, you know, huge brake form machines and, you know, form your own parts and pieces. You know, should something break, you can do some simple repairs and whatnot. You know, clips, brackets, things like that. So he was out there to see what their environment was like, what they had to work with out there from that perspective. So landed on a cod. Pretty sure he got shot off the catapult by one too. So that must have been pretty cool. I think it was the Kennedy, maybe? No. Got me a t-shirt. I don't know, I was in like 4th grade, so that was like 1994 to me. I don't know why I'm talking. I'm doing a stream, so I guess that's what other people do. But, mainly just doing this so I can watch these later. A little bit more deliberately to get something out of it. Cool. There's 800. Everything's situated. Remember to put the hook down early this time. There we go. A little roll in here. Tap right there. I may have bumped that. So with my, obviously I don't have a mouse, so I have a little trackball mouse next to me. I found those work pretty well, but actually use a modifier on the HOTAS, so I go up with the thumb coolie, and I use left and right on the trim hat to do simulated mouse clicks, so I'm able to look at something and do the clicks. So sometimes if I don't hit the modifier, I actually induce trim. Oh, missed my turn because I'm yapping. There's boards, and we'll pull 2.9 on the G there. 26. And there's full flaps in here. That's going to give me more pitch, but that's okay. I'm out of pitch. No longer using that, and I'm using trim. Yep, and just letting the speed bleed off there. Trimming up, get that velocity vector in the center of that E bracket. When it's there, that means my angle of attack relative to my direction of motion is 8.1 degrees. The top and bottom of those bands are 8.1 plus 1.2 plus or minus 1.2. Okay, 610. Probably a smidge close to the bow. Smidge close. Okay. Perfect distance, it calls it. I don't know what perfect is. 1.2, I think that's the tolerance there is a little too tight, if you ask me. I find myself hunting for that unrealistically, so oh well. I'll go a little closer to the 30-degree mark here. See what that does. To descend faster, because as I roll over I have to get more speed. And now put me a little tighter to the boat, so my groove duration is not as long. I feel like that might put me low though. Ease off there, flatten it out a bit. Whoa, 390, 80. Not really looking
high.
Okay, that's what I thought. High.
You're high.
Thank you. High. Roll out here. Let it collapse. Don't see the light bulb. Okay, really let it collapse. This is going to be one of those interesting ones. See if I can catch it. descending. There we go. Okay. So I caught it. That looks like a, I don't know. Two-wire. So I really collapsed on it. Well, maybe not. But like I said, the deck modeling's all wrong, so maybe I flew a good meatball, but I think we all saw that meatball descend rather rapidly at the end there, so I probably settled. Probably settled there, so. Okay. There we go, hooked up. Flap still set to half. Snap trim. 16. Everything wiggles the way it's supposed to wiggle. Head back. No power. Wait for the shot. Zoom. Okay. Awesome. Great climb. Well, I felt like it really descended there. What was up with that? Alright, 20-degree clearing turn. Okay. Okay. Trying to get in the habit of pausing there so I don't just immediately turn around to the right every time like I do to cheat the pattern here, so I can do it again. Alright. So imagine the bundles and bundles of wires that are behind this cockpit. My mom actually worked at Boeing too. She did drawings, electrical drawings for F-18, AV-8B, no, she didn't do the AV, she did the F-18, F-15, T-45. So, keeping track of all the different configurations of those, all the different, as they change through lot numbers or different customers, you know, Korean F-15, the Saudi, all that jazz. Not an engineer though. She never really liked what she did, but the money was good for somebody who only had a college, or rather a high school diploma, as she said, so. Alright, let's put that hook down. This might be my last pass, I don't know. Watch the recording tomorrow and see where I can improve. All that groove, I think I got everything up to the groove good. Maybe the 90, my position at the 90, spacing wise relative to the boat. Speed here. Yeah, I really gotta be more consistent on speed. If we're doing this with a flight coming in. There's one. I would be expected to hold that a little better than I am. Of course, we'd be coming from much further out as we break the deck on the downwind. A little less pull this time. There we go. I'll flaps here and let off stick pressure. And let that flap bulge, let's call it, that flare kind of pull me around. Add some trim here. I gotta put a little down pressure. I don't like climbing from that. So I'm gonna hold that in. There we go. Now catch it with throttle and trim. More trim. There's my reciprocal 174. I'm trim for on-speed AOA. 3, 2. Okay, I bought myself a little time. 1.4. Slightly too far away, 1.38. See, I just think that's a little peculiar, a little picky, because it's not that tight of a window you need to maintain. Although it's good to be consistent, but you can always widen the circle or narrow the circle up. Technically, I guess if you fly that 30-degree angle bank, it will always be too tight. So I found that to be most certainly the case, but I get a little wide there. It just seems like I'm going to shallow that out too much. Kind of flatten this out a bit. What it's called, seesawing or sawing away at that. Just, the angle didn't seem right to me. Here's my wake marker. I'm not at the wake yet. Now I'm at the wake. There's the marker. I can see it out of my peripheral. And I see the meatball. Looks decent. Yep. I'll try seeing if I can not do the VR zoom. I think that's messing with me. I'm lined up right. That wasn't good, but I know the boat's coming that way. Yeah, that's long. See, that was a good meatball, though. I would want to look at that in slow-mo. That's part of the reason that the geometry, I think, is messed up on that. You know, hey, I'm not trying to make excuses, but yeah, I am making excuses. And I think I rode that good meatball down. I don't know. I went over the top of it. No, that contradicts myself. As I said, a good meatball would result in a 2-wire strike, but 179 4-wire. Yeah. I do believe that 4-wire. 7 passes. You know what? We'll do one more pass. Call it a night. I should have enough data to scour over. Slow down. Go. See it coming up there. 5.5. Trim to 16. Okay, there we go. Everything wiggles like it's supposed to wiggle. Everything wiggles like it's supposed to wiggle. Oh, look, stop. What am I doing? Oh, power. Head back. Enjoy the simulated ride. Positive rate. And I would continue on straight. I'm going to cheat the pole. Ooh, there's my shadow. One more pass here, we'll call it good. I think sometimes what I suffer from is like when I see a stable meatball, I don't know what to do with my hands, you know? Like, it's good, but I don't know what to do to keep it good. Should I not do anything? I mean, that's not true in the most technical sense. Technically, if you're on a 3/4 mile groove length, and let's keep that hook out, and you're directly on center line, and you see a good meatball, your glide slope relative to yourself should be less than 3.5, right? Since we have to fly to meet the boat. So I think it's like 2.91 is what I calculated. And that slowly descends the closer you get to the boat. It only matches, your plane and the boat only match at the moment of impact. Touchdown, I should say. Because you're always chasing where the boat will be. And the moment they meet is the moment those two glide slopes match. That's another reason why you never use the velocity vector indicator. Never fly that. You always fly the meatball, because the meatball is giving you the proper inertial reference frame. You can think of inertial reference frame as, let's say you're sitting in the back of a minivan or something, and you've got a tennis ball, and you toss it up and down inside your head, inside that van. Well, to you, it's just going straight up and down because your inertial reference frame is to the van, but somebody else on the street, as that van's going by, that ball going up and down in your hand, they're going to see that as going in a parabola. So the same thing, high entering the break. So the same thing's going on when you're landing on the boat. The inertial reference frame is the boat because that's the one that matters. So that 3.5 degree glide slope is relative to the boat, not from your plane to the boat. That messed me up real good until I understood that. I kept, kind of cheating because I'm in VR, and I might use the excuse that I couldn't see the meatball, so I was basically flying the velocity vector down. And I would always end up short. Well, that makes sense because if we're setting that setting our velocity vector to match that 3.5 degree glide slope, clearly I don't have the resolution in our ladder here to see that, but still, you make that attempt, you're always going to be short. So when you roll out in the groove, stick it to 3.5, well, the boat's moving away, so you're already losing there. You're going to put it in the one wire every time. 600. Let's see. Why did that change? Oh, I didn't finish trimming. Anyway, let's do that. Make this a good one. All that good altitude. I don't know if I believe that because I'm about to hit my wake altitude. And so I'm low for sure. I haven't even crossed the wake. Okay, it's kind of a garbage approach. So now I'm crossing the wake. See the meatball. I guess I'm high. Yep. Let's see if I can correct it though, and correct it appropriately, and correct it early. See it now? A lot of VR zoom. A little low on the meatball indicator. That's a 4-wire, I bet. Yeah. Well, what was that? 172 4-wire.
Fuel low.
Oh no. Thank you, Leslie Shook. You're telling me my fuel was low.
Low. Fuel low.
She retired recently. She was a St. Louis employee, so home of the Hornets. This is an appropriate way to park it, but I guess this is called the junkyard. I suppose I could turn my tail towards this and just blast the sky. Tower there. Well, I don't know if that's authentic, but I am where I am. Okay, that was fun. Thanks for sticking with me. If you watch this, this is probably just for my own edification, but in case anybody is watching this, thanks. Go back to